We all love sharing our huge profit flips, but this episode's called Tiny Sales Add Up. Welcome to Early Bird Picker. My name is Rafa. I'm a reseller on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and Amazon. Currently in the Early Bird Picker nest, so like always, this means it's a weekend what sold video. It's currently Friday early afternoon, already 5 sales today. Pretty happy about that. Let's get them. Sold. Nearly Vintage 2002 McDonald's and OU University of Oklahoma Schooner bobbing head. Got this in the styrofoam because when I was at the estate sale picking this up, this is how this was. I didn't even think necessarily to take it out of the styrofoam to check the condition. Whenever something's in styrofoam like this, you just think, oh my gosh, it's been really well taken care of. When I got it home to take the picture and when I looked up sold comps on eBay, it's got the bobbing head. Unfortunately though, the horse head is supposed to be much closer to the horse body, so somehow like those wires have kind of pulled away. Cost of goods $5, estate sale. Sold for $20, free shipping on Facebook Marketplace. Gonna cost $9 to ship this out at the under £2 rate. Takeaway $11. This for sure would have been listed for more and likely would have sold for more had it not had the condition issue. There are several of these listed on eBay, all in really nice condition, so I just had to price mine lower. I priced it lower on eBay and then also on Facebook Marketplace. Sold. Vintage Thermocore replacement lid or cover, stainless steel, 7.5 inch. With a bow tie handle. Cost of goods less than $1 at a thrift store. Sold $9.99 plus shipping on eBay. Lately I've been picking up replacement lids all the time. I typically pick up replacement lids for vintage Farberware and vintage Revereware. When I first started picking them up, my original intention was to just sell them as replacement lids only, just because they are so easy to take the photos of, ship out, that sort of thing. But I found that with the Farberware and the Revereware, I find the pots so often without the lids. For those two brands, I've just started collecting the lids and hope that I find the matching pot or pan bottom. When I saw this Thermocore lid cover, the handle really stood out to me, the bow tie handle. From having really paid attention to vintage Farberware and vintage Revereware, I recognized that just based on the style of the handle as compared to those, this had to be vintage as well. When I found this one, I had no idea what brand it is, and so I just put in vintage lid cover with the bow tie, knob, or handle, something along those lines, and it brought this up pretty quick. This is like a unique design, just not many like it. I can't say that I've ever found a Thermocore pot or pan or anything like this, and so on this one, I decided to sell this as a lid replacement cover only. I got pretty good money for it. Sold. Vintage Anchor Hawking 4-quart rectangular microwave baking dish with lid. Cost of goods 83 cents at a thrift store. Sold $15 plus shipping on eBay. Sold. Vintage new old stock Pentel 0.5 millimeter automatic mechanical pencil, model P205. Forgot to write it in there, but the cost of goods was 12 cents. If you didn't catch my video from a couple back, I was at a family run estate sale. I hit a closet upstairs and it was pretty full of a lot of new old stock vintage like office supplies. A couple years back, I found some vintage engineering mechanical pencils. From having resold those, I learned that office supplies and just things like that, if they're old, they can be really collectible. It was news to me back then. I hadn't found any since, and so when I found this closet chock full of a lot of different vintage new old stock stuff, I was so excited. To me, it's really just mind-boggling how much people will pay for some of these older mechanical pencils, and also just wooden pencils too. Like I said, I paid just 12 cents per item from that lot. This single mechanical pencil sold for $14.99 plus shipping on eBay. Sold. Men's Live Fit black camo full zip jacket. It's hooded. I was really excited when I spotted this jacket at the thrift store. It's got taped zipper seams. Same thing, side pockets with the taped zipper seams. And a side pocket there. Excellent overall condition. Even though this jacket is really lightweight, it still retails for pretty good money. The retail price on this jacket is 110 bucks. And that's partly due to the waterproofing that's going on with the seams of that jacket. Cost of goods, 9 bucks, Goodwill. Kind of disappointed on this one, pretty low sales price, sold for 25 plus shipping on eBay. This company brands themselves as a streetwear fitness brand. I used to do CrossFit several years ago, and I think that's how I knew this brand. I think some CrossFit athletes kind of tend to wear this brand. Like I said, a really high quality jacket. Would have kept it for myself, but I'm just not personally into camo, and so I had to pass on it. Friday night, 3 more sales, 2 on Facebook Marketplace, 1 on eBay. Sold. 2019 Young Living Essential Oils Convention Backpack on Facebook Marketplace in used like new condition. Cost of goods, $2.99 at a thrift store. Sold for 40 bucks, free shipping on Facebook Marketplace. This is under the 2-pound rate, so it's going to be 9 bucks on Facebook Marketplace to ship this. Takeaway, 31. Fortunately, I had seen one of these Young Living convention backpacks at a Goodwill in the past. It was an older model, and Goodwill wanted like 13 bucks for it. I went ahead and looked it up and knew that it was valuable. So when I saw this one, I spotted it. I knew immediately that I was going to search sold comps on eBay, and these were selling really well on eBay. But this one's sold on Facebook Marketplace. Good profit. This next one's a pretty good one. Unfortunately, it's already boxed up. I don't do that with hardly any of my items anymore. This one is the FisherPrice Smart Cycle, aka the Peloton. I had this listed only on Facebook Marketplace. This is like a kid's toddler, basically a little bicycle. It has a spot for either an iPhone or an iPad. It uses Bluetooth technology to connect the bike to the iPad. There's an app that's downloaded, and then the kid pedals, and it's kind of like they're in a video game in the app. They turn the handle on the bike, they pedal faster, it makes them go. It kind of reminds me almost like Mario Kart is what it feels like. I tested it, it's working. I got this at a thrift store. Cost of goods, only $1.50. It sold for 100 bucks plus shipping on Facebook Marketplace. I forgot to say this when I was filming this What Sold video originally, but for this particular item, I originally was asking $200 because this thing sells for like $400 to $500 new. This was in excellent condition. It was tested, fully working. Because I was asking so much money for it and it was an electronic, what I decided to do was I made a YouTube video going through the product testing of it, showing how it worked, just so it'd give the buyer more confidence when they're going to buy something from you. I thought this was going to sell locally, but I still wanted the person to know that it did work. I actually did end up shipping it to somebody, and I think especially in that scenario, it's even better to have the video showing that it's working. So if you're an eBay or just an online seller and you don't have a YouTube channel, you actually might consider making one simply to make product demo videos for things that you're asking, a fair amount of money on them, and especially if they're electronics and someone's going to see that they are tested and working. So how I went about that is whenever you are making your video, there's an option to make your video public, private, unlisted, maybe a couple other options. I made it unlisted. And so how that works is only people with the link can view the video. So that's why if you're a subscriber of my channel, you didn't see the video, because it's not something that I really ever intended for just any subscriber to see. It's not that interesting. It's just for somebody potentially wanting to buy the product. I originally started making these when I sold stuff on eBay. If you list on a desktop and use the HTML format of listing, you can embed YouTube videos into your listings there. And that's a pretty cool feature, because let's say multiple people are selling the same item and only one person selling it has a video showing that it works, and all else is the same, the condition, the price, etc. Of course, the one with the video showing that's going to work is the one that's going to sell. I'm really a big fan of doing this for higher priced items. I do have to open the box back up because I completely disassembled it in order to ship it. But when I did that a couple weeks ago, I totally didn't think about that I should probably include the user manual or the assembly guide. And so I printed one off the internet. I'm going to throw that in there. So I'll show you just like the pieces that are inside. I'd planned on only selling this locally, but I had someone that was insistent that I ship it to like Dallas, I think. I went back and forth with her through several messages, just really ensuring that she wanted to buy it, because I said, it's going to take me a while to take it apart, pack it, get it ready in a box. It's just going to take time that I just really hadn't planned for. And then if she doesn't end up buying it, then I'll have to put it back together if someone local wants it. She assured me she was going to buy it. I got it completely taken apart, put in the box. And sure enough, when I sent her the message about how much it weighed and what the shipping was going to be, she asked if she could pay me on Friday. I said, no big deal. Friday came around, I messaged her, never heard from her again. So I ended up just keeping this in the box. Luckily, I had someone that lives about 112 miles away want this. They said if I'm ever in the area, they'd want to buy it from me. I said it's actually packed, ready to go to be shipped. All right, there's our box right there. All right, so here is the FisherPrice Smart Cycle, aka the Peloton. By the way, somebody on Facebook Marketplace messaged me. They really weren't interested in buying this, but it was their play on words from, of course, the Peloton. They thought it'd be hilarious if I changed the listing to Peloton. I thought it was hilarious too, and I thought it might kind of catch people's attention. So I totally deleted my listing and I re-uploaded it, changed the name to Peloton. Sold. Vintage 1989 electronic talking battleship, full set of 10 ships, replacement parts. Cost of goods, $1. Sold $9.99 plus shipping on eBay. I picked up that electronic talking battleship for $5 at a garage sale. I got it home and it had pretty bad battery corrosion, couldn't get it cleaned, so I decided to part out the rest of it. Still gonna make okay money on it. It's Sunday afternoon, get ready to pack, pull, and ship the items that came through from yesterday, as well as today so far. Total of 7, 5 on eBay, 2 on Facebook Marketplace. Let's get them. Sold. Vintage comb-me-down green leather mittens. Overall, okay used condition. Cost of goods, 38 cents at a thrift store. Sold $12 plus shipping on eBay. I picked these up just a couple weeks ago. I knew that it was going to be getting a lot warmer, so I'm kind of surprised that these sold. I was thinking that I might be keeping them all the way until next winter. Sold. Rare vintage Breaking Benjamin rock t-shirt on the Hanes heavyweight tag. Men's 2XL with a really cool graphic eagle print. Unfortunately, blank on the back. Cost of goods, $3, Goodwill. Took an offer on this one for $25 plus shipping on eBay. For a used t-shirt, I'm really happy with that. Sold. Vintage 1989 electronic talking battleship, secret code and instruction book. Sold as a replacement part. Cost of goods, $1. Sold $9.99 plus shipping. That's pretty good just for a little instruction book that goes with the game. Even though it's more listings, I'm ending up making my money back. This is the third replacement part that I've sold from the game, and so far this makes $27 plus shipping on all of it that I've made back, so gonna make profit on it. Sold. Vintage 1980s Texas Instruments Speaking Math learning toy.
Solve it. Level 1.
Tested and working. Super clean battery compartment, which is awesome for a toy that's 30 to 40 years old. And it does have the battery cover. Cost of goods, $4 at a thrift store. Sold for $30 plus shipping on eBay. Really happy with this one. I've sold lots and lots of Texas Instruments graphing calculators, like the newer ones, like the TI-84, TI-89, and so I know, of course, that Texas Instruments is a great company. They make really high quality stuff. It's pretty expensive stuff, and so I saw this like learning toy at a thrift store, and I thought it was just kind of unusual that it was made by Texas Instruments, and I figured there's some value to it. I looked it up, and absolutely selling for pretty good money. Sold. Vintage 1992 FisherPrice Puffalump Brontosaurus Pink Dinosaur. Dino roars. I think they call it that because it does this. Hopefully that counts as a roar. Roughly 15 inches. It's made of what's considered parachute material. To me, it's just like a sleeping bag material. With condition issues, stains there, there, and there. Cost of goods, 79 cents at a thrift store. Just got this listed this morning, and it sold within like an hour or two on eBay for $23.23 plus shipping. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I used to say that I just flat hated selling plush. And I had a good reason for it. I had been searching for plush, maybe picked up a couple, and just never had a single successful sale. Just a few weeks ago, I had a pretty good profit sale. This makes the second sale that I'm really happy with the profit. I'm definitely changing my mind on flipping plush. I like to look for it now. I really, in particular, like to look for this parachute material. I'm not up to date on like what's current, like with kids movies like today, like Frozen and all that. I have no idea of like the current stuff, what would be valuable. But for me, vintage stuff just stands out, and especially this parachute material. It seems like they kind of only put that in vintage plush, as much as I can tell from the little bit of research that I'm doing. So I've been picking up those, and I'm pretty happy with them. Sold. Lot of 2468 Castle Bay golf iron covers. We've got 3 through 9 plus a pitching wedge. The company calls this material Softex. Unfortunately, it's a little bit heavier, so this lot of 8 doesn't get to ship first class mail, so it's a little bit more expensive. Overall, very good condition except for with the pitching wedge. A little bit of tear right there. Paid $0.25 each for these, so total cost of goods $2 at a thrift store. Picked up a big lot of these. I separated them into 3 lots. Sold on Facebook Marketplace same day as they were listed, $20 free shipping. Like I said, unfortunately they're in the 1 to 2 pound category, so the shipping label is going to cost $9. Takeaway $11. As you can see, these don't make just a crazy ton of profit. I found them though maybe like 2 years ago, and I remember finding them and that they sold really fast then. So if you can find them for super cheap, they're worth picking up because they do sell really fast. They seem like the sell-through is really good on them. And in my mind, they're just a really, really simple, hard good. You do need to watch out and check them over, see if they're torn, but otherwise you can just like wipe them down with like a wet cloth or something like that, and it makes them look pretty good. Sold. Revereware mini cheese grater. Looks like it might be a magnet or just for display or something like that, but it's real. It's quite sharp. Approximately 2.5 inches tall. Mint, seemingly never used condition. 4-sided. This was one of my mom's picks. We were at an estate sale last weekend on Sunday. It was an estate sale that started on Sunday, which was really odd. Picked this one up for only 50 cents. I couldn't find any others of these on eBay that were currently listed or any that had sold within the last 3 months. I could only find one, I think, on the WorthPoint app. I don't remember how long ago, but so they're seemingly pretty rare. I also listed this one this morning and it sold $15 free shipping on Facebook Marketplace. It's under the 8-ounce rate, and so Facebook Marketplace charges $3.75 for the shipping label. Takeaway, $11 1/4. 2 more sales this Sunday afternoon, both of them on eBay. Sold. New Bright RC Gravedigger shell only replacement part, 1/16 scale, 11 inch. Overall, very good condition. If you're gonna sell the shells only to these New Bright RCs, they usually have a screw that, like on this one, it attaches here at the front. A lot of people don't include those. I always do, just in case that person lost a screw that they're gonna use to replace this with, so I send that too. Cost of goods, $1. Sold $14.75 plus shipping on eBay. Kind of the theme of this particular episode are just like tiny sales that add up. I, just like anybody else, like bigger sales where you make a lot more profit. But for the times when I'm willing to like list something where I'm making just less profit, it's got to be either really super easy or super fast. But really more importantly is I've got to like flipping it. I've got to get some type of enjoyment out of it. So on this particular item and then the item that we're about to see, I have a reason why I like selling both of them. For the New Brights, it's really pretty simple. Before I got into reselling, I was really into woodworking. I was a complete amateur. I just watched YouTube videos to learn how to do anything that I wanted to do. So the EarlyBirdPicker nest used to be completely a woodworking garage. That's why I already had all these shelves on the walls here. I was just like storing wood, tools, anything like that. So with the reselling, I'm completely obsessed with this now. I spend all of my spare time doing it, and I love it. So that's one reason why I don't do the woodworking anymore, is I just simply really don't have the time because I'm choosing to spend the time reselling. But the other big reason is I used to do all of my woodworking here in the garage, where I was cutting everything with saws, and of course that creates tons and tons of sawdust. Well, this is basically an inventory stock room now. I just can't even run my saw once in here now without dust getting just everywhere. But anyway, back to the New Brights and selling those. I know it's really simple, but to sell the shell only, and sometimes if you're gonna sell the wheels and the tire, you have to take them apart. And so I just kind of miss like working with my hands, like putting stuff together, taking it apart. And so I pick up these RC cars, even though I make little profit, just because it's a chance to kind of get to do something that I used to really enjoy doing. Sold. A lot of 1, 2, 3. Vintage mid-century modern Buntenware, made in the USA. Melmac or melamine atomic winged round serving bowl, 8-inch diameter. Some minor condition issues, a little bit of staining, tiny chip here and there, and on the bottom of this one it almost looks like a little burn or something. I really love picking up vintage melamine kitchenware. It's really easy to spot, super thick. It seems like it'd be really durable. I'm kind of surprised there's so many issues with this particular set, but it's really fun to find. Cost of goods, 54 cents at a thrift store. Sold $20 plus shipping on eBay. Going to someone in New York. She sent me a personal message with her offer, telling me that her grandma had these and that these just reminded her of her. I've recently become like a fanatic when it comes to reselling vintage kitchenware. And that's pretty much the reason why right there, what that lady messaged me. There's just such a strong tie between having meals together and cooking meals and baking and whatnot and spending time with your family. And so when I find these vintage kitchenware pieces that are super collectible, I know they're usually going to go to somebody that's buying them because they have really, positive, strong memories associated with them. So I did make good profit on this one, but nothing that's going to make me just like super rich. So the big takeaway from this is it's just so cool that I found something here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma that is super vintage, that someone in New York says that just really reminds them of memories with their grandma. I just think that's super cool. And kitchenware is like that. I think that's why so many people are collecting it, is it just reminds them of older times that they spent with their family. I also personally collect kitchenware for myself for the exact same reason. My grandma was an amazing cook, bake, whatever you want to call it. She was in the kitchen constantly. She had all 3 of her kids and all of the entire 3 kids family over every Sunday, every single Sunday, and she cooked a full course meal all by herself. So now that I've gotten into reselling and just the whole world of collecting, I've started a kitchenware collection of my own. I have to be a little bit careful though, because my grandma had so much kitchenware that I remember that she just really loved. One weird thing that I collect that I really remember using, that she let me use in the kitchen when I was really little, it basically has no resale value whatsoever. But for whatever reason, this is kind of the piece that I decided to start collecting whenever I see them. I've only found 2 so far. Let me show you. That's actually a picture of my grandma and me when I was a junior in high school. So I collect these things. I think the one that my grandma had was this kind of beige one. You can see it's like a chopper. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to chop nuts with it, but I most remember like scrambling eggs with it. She always let me use it. I thought it was really fun, and I scrambled eggs with it. So that's my kitchenware collectible that I mainly collect. I did find something else a weekend ago, a container that I picked up too. Piece by piece, I'm starting my own collection. So on this video, drop a comment below if you have a particular item or category or niche that you resell that really doesn't make you very much money, but you do it for other reasons, simply just because you love it for one reason or the other. And if you want to share, put the reason why. Pretty good sale came through on Facebook Marketplace to round out the weekend. This one, I already have a box ready to go for. It's large, and so I wanted to know what the dimension was for the box and how much it was going to weigh. We've got the Soros Bones 2-bike car trunk rack. This is a definite BOLO item. Soros is a really nice cycling accessory company, basically. This is not an uncommon thing to find. I found one of these before. When you find them, the first thing you want to check over are that the straps are here. Sometimes the straps will be missing. This is how the bike is held in place. You can replace these if they don't have them. It's better, obviously, if you can find them with the straps in place. When you do find them, they're usually set up something like this. However, you can collapse it. It's got these 2 ends right there with rubber feet. That is what goes against somebody's like vehicle. And then this part sticks out holding the bikes. And then it has these straps right here that attach like or the trunk of the vehicle. As you can see, I zip tied mine just so they don't get all tangled. This was one of my mom's picks. It was an awesome find. 15 bucks at a garage sale, and it's essentially in like new condition. It looks like it was used once, maybe. My original thought was to just offer it locally and that I'd sell it locally. These are in pretty high demand, and I thought that it'd sell pretty fast locally. I've only had it listed for a day or 2, but I decided to go ahead and offer shipping on it just to see if anybody wanted it shipped, and I did get some offers for that. So at first glance, this looks like a bear in order to ship. The good news is it's collapsible. You can make it much smaller than this. The goal is we're going to try to get all these kind of leg extension pieces to be all in one section, basically. all together. The other thing that you want to know, these pieces right here are often kind of close to the end, like this. We're going to try to scoot those in so it kind of narrows it up some. You'd think with this bar here that wouldn't matter, that is what determines the width, but actually if these are really far out, see how this one's on like close to the end, that actually makes the box wider. When I calculated for the box originally, both of them were really far out like this. I scooted them in and fit them in a smaller box. Okay, so here is how you adjust this. It has this knob right here, you just twist it left. It's got these ridges. You pull it to the part that's smooth, and then it just collapses like this. Like I said, we're going to try to get all of them just angled up together, and then I tighten it back. As I said, this one, it's too far to the end. If we can scoot it in, it'll help make finding a box easier. So if you've never adjusted one of those Soros bike racks, that's how you do it. I'm going to go ahead and do it for all the rest of the pieces, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's completely collapsed. As you can see, I have all the leg extensions all put together, so the shipping is going to be a lot easier. And then I have them all scooted to the middle as well. So my original plan was to flip the Soros bike rack locally, but then in the back of my mind, I know that you almost always are able to get more money for something if you're willing to ship it, even though that includes shipping on top for the buyer. So seeing that this is pretty large, I actually did have a box in my garage that worked pretty well. These are the boxes that my big bubble wrap comes in. And so I had it in this one, and then I was just gonna cut down the depth of it. So I listed it on eBay for calculated shipping, where it would just calculate the shipping cost based on where the buyer lived. On Facebook Marketplace, I listed it with shipping. If the item's over a cubic foot, you're not supposed to use one of those labels, so you have to provide your own shipping label, and you have to enter how much you're going to charge the buyer for shipping. Well, that's pretty tricky because this item is both fairly heavy and large, and so depending on where it's going in the country, it can be a really wide range of prices. What I decided to do is I used some shipping calculators, and I entered zip codes that were really far from me and just kind of looked at what the general shipping price was. It was about 60 bucks. And so I listed the shipping price as 60 bucks, but then in the description of the item, I wrote that shipping's available. Contact me with your zip code. It's likely going to be a whole lot less to ship this. I just put in an expensive rate in case someone really far from me bought it. I had several people message me with their zip codes, and luckily in the meantime, my neighbor who gives me boxes almost every single day, he dropped off this box. It's an Epson printer box basically, and the fit is perfect. Like I said, in order to get the fit though, I had to scoot these in, and once I did that, it fit. The UPS ground label only cost $13.14, so that's what I ended up charging the buyer. I told her when she was immediately ready to make a purchase to let me know. I would go in and change the shipping price to that price. I didn't want to change it before she was ready though, because I didn't want someone in like Alaska buying this with a shipping cost of only 13 bucks. So that's a new strategy that I'm doing on Facebook Marketplace to ship really large items. I'm listing a high shipping price and then listing to contact me for a better shipping rate with your zip code. And it's worked pretty well. Cost of goods on the Soros bike rack was 15 bucks at a garage sale, and like I said, this was one of my mom's awesome picks. It sold on Facebook Marketplace, full asking price, 75 bucks plus the shipping. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Early Bird Picker. Tiny sales add up. It's really not surprising to me that lately my average sales price has been a lot lower, because several weeks ago I intentionally started thrifting at some of the thrift stores where I get much lower prices. However, I don't pick up quite as high quality or as name brand of stuff at these kind of outskirt thrift stores. The chain of thrift stores in my area that just has the absolute highest quality, best stuff is of course Goodwill, probably like in most people's states. But that said, Goodwill prices are really high compared to all the other thrift stores around here. This last month, for some reason, I was just really in the mood to just spend less money. So while my average sales price has gone down, my profit is still remaining pretty good. I'm still probably making like my close to 10 bucks plus profit per item, which is what I really like to make. And while the sales price is nothing extraordinary or shocking or anything like that, in most cases, I really enjoy getting something for less than $1 and making at least $10 profit on it. It's just like a challenge to me, and I just really love doing that. So thanks again for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. Just a few days back, I put out a video that I was really excited to make. It's called Facebook Marketplace Has Sold Comps. if you sell on Facebook Marketplace or are planning to, please be sure and check out that video. I show you how to step-by-step find sold comps on Facebook Marketplace. It's a new development and it's really exciting, and hopefully the video can help you out while you're doing your research for your items. All right, that's it for me this weekend, and as always, I'll see all y'all on the next video.